Hi guys, how you doing? So welcome to another live stream. I'm just going to copy and paste all the information into the comments section very quickly, just so in case if you have any problems with the stream, you know how to get back to it. So if you just give me a minute whilst doing that. I hope everyone's been staying well and healthy. I hope everyone's having a nice time at home. I don't know if any of you have gone back to school yet, but if you have, I hope it's all going well. As always, if you just want to put your name in the comments box, just so I know who's here and watching, then that'd be good. And yeah, I'll go from basically talking about this week's lesson. Now, before we do start, I should mention that this is our last one, potentially ever, because hopefully in September we'll be back to into school. I'm not sure, but we can keep our fingers crossed that we'll be doing lessons together face to face instead of just over videos and YouTube live and stuff like that. So I can see Heidi's arrived. Thank you, Heidi, for coming along. Nice to see you. I hope you're well. As you are here, we might as well start with your group. So this actually goes for both the groups. So Heidi, you're with Ayana, Dylan and Lillian, all from St. James. And the guys, so Evie, Lily and Sarah, you guys are doing the same thing, I believe, this week. So let's have a look and see what I gave you. So you guys had Lean on Me Part 2. So learning both hands, Part 2, I do apologise. And basically it's quite similar to the first part. As you'll remember from the melody, the main difference really is the endings. Instead of going instead of doing that, you're going. That's the main difference really. There's not that much difference between the two. So hopefully you found that all right. That's the main difference in the melody, but then obviously the left-hand part is also different because while the chords are mostly the same, you have 2 bars of C, 2 bars of F, 2 bars of C. You then only have 1 bar of G before going to 1 bar of C, okay, instead of having 2 bars of G. So the difference really is we've got G, C. The key bit I want you to get is that, so remember you've got 1 C in the right hand, C and then another C with the C chord, okay? So that's basically the main difference between the two parts. So hopefully you found that okay. Now, something I noticed a few people doing in my other lessons is that you miss out the bars of rest. Okay, so I've seen some people go okay, and we don't want that because that completely changes the feel of the song. If I do it again, but without the little pause I did, it sounds like this. Doesn't sound right at all, does it? So we need to have those rests. But when we have a rest in the right hand, we still need to play in the left hand, okay? So we're going to go F chord, it's a bar of rest. Back down to C, bar of rest. So in the second part it would be this. Bar of rest in the right hand, I play an F in the left hand. And start again. Rest the right hand, play the left hand, and then we're going to go G, C. Okay, so hopefully you got all that. The main thing really is to try not to do that. Well, make sure you include those bars of rest. It's really important that you do that. Otherwise, you will change the whole feel of the song. Okay, and then once I gave you that, we then moved on to a C major scale in the left hand. Okay, so this is I know you've already done a C major scale. Most of you should have done a C major scale in the right hand. So hopefully you should at least know the notes in the C major scale. But the main reason I wanted to do this is to try and get you using your left hand, but other than just using chords. Because so far we've been playing a chord at the beginning of the bar, and then just leaving it there, and then shifting, and leaving it there. So actually doing this thing, this scale will help you get your dexterity up in your left hand. So see how fast you can get it, basically. Try and keep it even. Try not to go. Okay. Try and keep it nice and even. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to go from fifth finger on C. So we're going to go from the C below middle C. This is C. C below middle C is there. Fifth finger on that one. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of fingers. Cross our third finger over up to 2, 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So hopefully that's fairly straightforward for you guys. But basically the point of that is to try and get you starting using your hand, left hand, and doing individual notes rather than just doing a chord. Okay, that's the idea of that exercise. Now, we'll move on to guys from Chandler now. Hopefully, Heidi, you're happy with all that. If you have any questions, put that in the comments now. We'll move on to Chandler. So again, you guys from Chandler, you're doing the same thing for both of you doing the same thing. So we've got the guys, we've got Amelia, Ella, Tom, and Scarlett, and then we've got Ella, Summer, and Olivia. So you guys are all doing the same thing. So we started looking at the second part of Monday blues. So we've got 3 chord changes in these bits. We've got a bar of G7 or G, bar of F, and 2 bars of C. Now, as we know, the end of each line always goes like this. Okay, so those are the 2 bars of C. So let's try and put those first 2 bits with the melody in the third line. So we've got G and a B flat. That will sound really weird, but it is right, I promise you. So G and B flat together. Then we're going to go down to G. Get to that point, that's the F sharp. Then we play an F in the right hand as we play the F chord in the left hand. And then the E flat for this bit is going to be with the C chord in the left hand. And you see how there I played that C note in my right hand and then the left hand. So we're not going to go, that's not right, we want to go C and C. Okay, let's do that again. We've got G chord in the left hand, B flat in the right hand. Play the rest of the bar. Now the F sharp. Now the next note is F in our right hand and then F in our left hand. E flat in our right hand, C chord in our left hand. Play the C first and then the C chord in the left hand. Okay, so hopefully you guys found that okay. You know, it's a slightly difficult bit because the melody is quite tricky and there's lots of chord changes there. So take your time on that. Take it nice and slow. Do what I just did. Make sure you know the chord at the beginning of the bar and the first note at the beginning of the bar as well, and that should help you. And then once I did that, we went over the rest values, which I don't think I'd given you a video for before. So that should hopefully teach you about what all the rest signs mean. So it's really, I mean, as kind of talking about it really for the Lean on Me guys, but it's really important to be doing those rests, because if you don't, then you'll just change the whole meaning of the song if you don't do rests. So we learned what a four beat rest looks like, which is like a little box on the line second down on the slave. So we've got the first line, second line, there's a little box hanging down like that. We've got 2 beat rest, which is exactly the same. It's on the third line, so 1, 2, 3. It's like a little hat sitting on top. Okay, then we've got a crotchet or a 1 beat rest. So that's one of those squiggly ones. And then we've got the quaver rest, which is like this and that. And yeah, hopefully I think that was all the rests I taught you. So yeah, just that should hopefully help you know where these things are. Right, I'm going to call it a day there because I don't think anyone else has got any questions. Heidi, if you have any, get me a minute whilst I round off. Well done, everyone. Thank you for coming along and doing these lessons. I know it's been tricky with everything being locked down, but I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you've enjoyed the streams as well. I've tried to sort of explain everything as best as possible, but I understand that obviously it'd be easier if I'm there in person to actually show you. But hopefully I've done a good job. And yeah, I will see you guys hopefully in September. So thank you very much, and I will see you later, guys. Goodbye.